certainly getting quicker, I think, as the season has progressed, Marchant. Really starting to hold his own. Look at this, 3 into 1. Oh, almost not going there because Barney Miller in the Stewart-owned 47 thought about the big move on Blanks and Ware. And what a talent Trevor Ware is too. Managed to dispense with Blanks, and now he's got Barney Miller all over his rear bumper. But he'll make that. They're at the Auto Parts Big Pontiac. Very wide indeed, just like its former pilot used to. It'll be great to see that the wheel as Barney slips up the inside now. And really, Trev knew he was a goner there and just let him go. No point fighting it and end up with front end damage. But can he catch Marchant? That is the big question here with only half a lap remaining. Ryan Alexander untouched in this one. Finally gets a front row start, and he does dominate the event, the 15.94 on the final lap. Ronnie Marchant getting a bit more race fit late in the season, a fine second, followed by the 40s. Barney Miller, the 77 of Trevor. In the wheel there, Doc probably spotting for him. We are set for the green. Scott McIntosh up on the milk crates, waves the green, and we are off. We get the hot cheek of Prez. He drove it in hard there on the 2 of Ashworth. They're still going at it in the turn number 3. Very spirited effort here from Sloaney. He gets up into 3rd position. The race leader continues to be the 52 entry of Jason Filippo. I reckon that's easy now with the Prez. Goes back to Ashworth and Kennedy. That sun shouldn't be too much of a factor for them. Within a lap or two, I reckon it will be absolutely spot on. So Kennedy cops a bit of a push there. Couldn't quite break the right rear loose. He might cough up a couple of positions. He's lost one. I think that's Heinrich. He's got up the inside of him, and Evans is about to do the same thing. He steadies the ship and gets back into the formation. Gee, Lucy Evans just about clouding Brother Dan. Might have clipped him as Kennedy looks to the bottom here. Heinrich really looking good on that mid-track arc. As he comes around now, close to halfway's distance. What a battle for the Miners. Forget about our race leader, Jim Filippo. He is faster than KPR STE engineering entry. Back behind them, the Prez, he's impressing me in 2nd. The battle for 3rd, absolutely anyone's at this stage. They keep the end of the 550 minutes and it's outside group. They're almost doing number 2. A bit too high there. Up to the racing part of the racetrack. Ashton Kennedy up the inside. Good race. Journey back to Sydney Ashworth. Fighting through. Now into the front of it. Looks around the outside. Kennedy also had a big push in turn number 2. Just get over them. The established racing group. Green and Vince next to us top. It's close to Heinrich and also Kennedy stands out. It's almost unlike him, I have second thoughts. To go racing, it's the Greg and Picture Show here this evening. CMC Greg is on the lead. TJ Picture Smith versus Nicastri. The SA late model title is go! Very even down the main straight. A little bit of Robbins racing through the first couple of corners. And Smith clears him. He now tucks into second. And it's back to the 4. Stewie Hill really racing hard, gets a bit untidy off turn 4. And it's back to the 97 of McPherson. And Hill just struggling to come to terms with turn 2 here. It was the same in the time trials. The car just didn't look comfortable. But look at our leaders going at it here. The little transport, lean, mean, green machine of Brad Smith. The 99 of Benno Nicastri. Look at him go! He closes in. Looking for the giant in turn number 3. This is great late model action. 15.1 seconds. They are hiking around this bull ring, side by side, and he gets the job done. What a move from this young man. Smith now trying to retaliate. 8 laps up on the counter as they work through turns 1 and 2. Nicastri and Smith going at it, putting on a magnificent display that gapped the field, but got to the entire back straight on McPherson and Hill as they charge around again. They're going to be in the 14 shortly, Phil. It was a 15.04 last time around. Ben Nicastri is really loving what he sees here at Speedway City tonight. Half race distance, and he's got a few car lengths over Smith. on display here. Look at him, dive to the bottom. Under in that 23, Crimmins persisting with the mid-track groove as they negotiate the north lane. Around they come. Crimmins knows he's got company in that rocket chassis. He'd be able to possibly see out of his peripheral vision that number 23 car is looming large and on the attack with Kerry McCarthy up ahead. Maybe an opportunity could present itself here. Perry hard on the gas, now trying to take a quick breath as they size up the 48 of McCarthy. The Barossa Bandits done pretty well in this one. After not time trying particularly well, Vaughan's dispensed with Hickey and Raymond and McCarthy unfortunately backing up a little bit in this one after a pretty good qualifying effort. You see our leader now just tiptoeing. McCarthy's on the line, he really wants to run. He looks to the bottom, finally gets past him with one lap now remaining. So the 23 dives down to the bottom. Brendan Hucker, I think Crimmins has got his measure here, although he has a last-ditch effort. Hooks up the inside, but can't get there. Crimmins victorious. Hucker in for second in the B23. Third in the 67 of the Barossa Bandit, Steve Vaughan. Fourth to the 5 of Luke Raymond. Fifth, the 91 of Dean Hickey. Wasn't there, and then holding the ball, the Hawks should have been picked for mine with a few seconds remaining. Oh, gee, the pit bull slams the fence. Brutal. 4-car off the circuit, but now rejoining G. Karpinski. A bit of a mission here. A bit of a tear. There's Janelle out in front as well, but Bloody now in hot pursuit. Show Trudeau how it's done with a big outside move. Into turn number 1 they travel once again. Bloody on the high line where he loves it. So it's back straight action, the 22 of Trudeau. Sitting in there behind him. And it's Matthew Seidler, the 69, running third. Stronger pace than we're used to with him. The 83 of Karpinski in fourth. Then we got the 8 of the pit bull, Paul Hayes. Next up is the 34 of Trevor Jacker. Aaron Flatman is doing it nicely here, 20.24 seconds. The pit bull. Just got a bit of smoke going from the car. Trevor Jacker might have launched his at the 34. He's smoking the pit bull's machine, getting even worse. So he'll be pretty fortunate from here to even make it to the reverse 8-lapper. I think he's in trouble. Pit bull smoke screen onto the infield, he's done. here 2 weeks ago. He's uncharacteristically out of form and out of sorts. Didn't even front for the feature. Had some mechanical issues to boot. So here we looked even Henley Treadley alongside him in the 53. Then we've got Moore back there somewhere in the 11. That's Jezza Moore. 36 of Jake Armstrong. Then is that the SA1 of Grant Lincoln? Another car at the back of the bus there might be Travis Litterini. But at this stage, what a blistering start Nick Sharp has made with this one. Damon Henley, really impressive as Wayne Vickers gets the big don't argue. The big fend off from Spider McCarthy out of 2. And Vickers not done with yet. He sweeps around the outside of Lee. Trying to go every step of the way with McCarthy. And he looks fired up to me, Phil, down the back chute. Valentino Vickers, he's a proud man. And I don't reckon it'd sit real well with him as he treats the eye of the needle here. Through the middle of Headley and McCarthy goes the doctor. He's the clay doctor here tonight, Valentino Vickers. Doing it nicely up in a second, but I tell you what, I don't think he's going to catch Mick Sharp unless he gets a caution. He's dumped a heap of oil there. Mick Sharp's about to spin on his own oil fill. Look at them all, snaking around. Look at him nearly into the fence. There is oil definitely out on that racetrack. Someone's going to end up in the fence here, I fancy. little unusual. Come out of nowhere, he's looked fine, but all of a sudden he's been in stride. Back behind him, the 23 of Kirby picture. It's a tough to see anybody catching. Five will soon prove for Damien. A couple of laps remaining. He's leading by a quarter of a lap over Shani. And he's Brother Mitch. Six back there in position 3. Just about ready to go. Graham Stewart on the pole here in the Super Sedan. Heat number 2. Trevor Ware alongside him in the 77. Michael Miller out at 3. Ryan Alexander from 4 and on the attack immediately. The 22 of Blinks back there out of 6. And Robbie Marchant starting out of position number 5. Gee, Graham, look at Barney. Barney Rubble just blows past him there coming out of turn number 4. Wants to stay in touch with his stepson, the Rhino in the NZ Dominator. Look at Alexander, draws up alongside Trevor Ware. Can Trev fend him off in the ageing Pontiac Grand Prix? The answer's no. Unfortunately, he can't. But I tell you what, I've been impressed with his driving here. Just in 2 weeks, probably with one meeting under his belt last weekend. Trevor Ware, he's starting to get back into the groove. Don't underestimate this guy. He's a very smooth peddler, and it's great to see him actually giving Brian and also Michael a real run for their money.
Yeah, he certainly is. The heat race with the state title last week. Oh, Barney Miller's is out and away. One coming through whether you like it or not. Moves up to second. Alexander the leader. Miller is second, then it's Ware. Then it's the 87 of Robbie Marchant. Graham Stewart ahead. Paul Blink guy. At the back of the Phil Blink in the back to 55. They're in turn number 3. Alexander down the back. Into turn number 3 and 4. The NZ Enforcer. Doing it superbly at the moment.
Might be a new nickname there, Phil. I like it.
Right with it.
Keep it up. We'll coin it here tonight.
Into 3 and 4. 1 to go. For Ryan Alexander. Second spot. Michael Miller. Then we go back to Trevor Ware. Beat with the flame. He just gets off the gas there in turn number 1. Down the back. Into 3 and 4. Alexander in heat number 2. Duplicating what he did in heat number 1. Check your flag on the way. Alexander second. And Miller third to Ware. And it's Marchant. Graham Stewart to tell us 5 minutes tonight. Down the back to 22 and 12 to Lincoln. And time to Stewart. We're about to go. Clint, have a look as John alluded to around the outside. William Caruso has actually got the best of it. Jackson Palito runs a bit high in that 52. You see now Caruso heard. He's trying to work the high side. That's the 20 of Kiado. As Smith in that B57. Moves up the inside of the 20. 32 of also Joel Heinrich trying to work over the veteran racer himself, Kiado. Young upstart to Triple X in the 32. I can't get it done in turn number 2. Our leader is William Caruso. And the runner-up finished in the feature race here. Now mid-season and really starting to boost the confidence of the young man. And he leads it out of turn number 2. Robert Hurd in second, then it's Smith, the Victorian. They're beautiful snap-on tools. Number 57, oh, he's got a bit of a bike there, just hooked the cushion slightly there in the exit of turn number 4. And Kiado takes the advantage, dives up in turn number 1, although Smith very quickly back on the gas, takes over that third spot. William Caruso. A 10-car length lead over Robert Hurd, then Smith, Doe, Heinrich, then Cunningham, then the 8 of Sloan. 52 of Belitho, and at the back, the 94 of Farrow. Good little race there as Heinrich now gets by Kyoto there in turn number 4.
Yeah, a bit of a lonely race there for the relatively inexperienced Jackie Sparrow at the very rear of the field. But anyway, let's get back to the sharp end because Will Caruso, defying some of the pundits out there. You might have thought Robbie Hurd by how far in this, but he trumped him on the start. And now in his Eagle, he is just driving away from them and looking very smart indeed, although does got that car set beautifully. I tell you, it might even be a shade tight, but it's helping him. Because if you can wrestle a tight race car, it's normally fast. The Ehrenberg Bass number 10. There's the 57. The Moore Plant Hire Triple X. Oh, we've got a spinner. And is that a side nerf that was flailing through the air? I think that's Cunningham, isn't it?
I believe so. I think 52. Credit to Australian and South Australian motocross in particular as we go racing here in heat number 4 of the wingless sprint zone. Lucy Evans in the 44 leads it down the back in the 71 on Brett Island, who really failed to fire there in his earlier heat race, so he'll be looking to bounce back here. Aaron Doe in the 24, Spencer Taylor trying to work the outside of Dan Evans, and they head down the back straight away. Our leader is, have a look at the 71, our leader, Brett Island. And he made his way through turn number 3. Spencer Taylor right upstairs through 1 and 2, and he's really getting it to work too. Down the back out of turn number 2 into 3. Spencer Taylor on the high side of Lucy Evans. He'll get the spot this time. Spencer Taylor, obviously the big wreck he had here a fortnight ago, hasn't dampened the enthusiasm at all in that 46. Oh, into the back. Oh, and Lucy Evans into the back. Was it in 24, I think, of Aaron Doe.
But I tell you what, he'd want to be careful here because Spencer Taylor, he's somewhat of a wingless assassin. He's been ticking them off one by one here. As they go green once again. Look at Dan Evans. Oh, they've touched wheels. They've hooked up here. Evans up and over the top. Almost over.
So Scotty Mack unleashes the field once again. And Brett Island, in fact, the top 4 got a really big gap over the rest of the field on that restart. Got Island, followed by Ashworth, and the 19 of Spalagic, the 21 of Matthew Kennedy, who on the podium here a fortnight ago. The car seems to have a bit more speed back in it. Seemed to languish a bit mid-season. Leader is Brett Island in the 71. Jake Ashworth in that 2, just shadowing our race leader. Pelagic and Kennedy, then that nice little battle further back, the 44 of Lucy Evans reinstated in the spot. And it's the 24 of Aaron Doe racing hard together again. And the 49 of Dan Evans, who got back in the race car and rejoined the field.
Yeah, I wonder whether he was likely to restart. He's racing with his sister right now into 3. Jake Ashworth, can't remember where he ran in the first round of heat races, but Spalagic, he's going to be in really good shape if he can stay where he is after a win in his first heat, now running around in 3rd place. Spike should be up there on the front row. Kennedy back there in 4th. Then it's Aaron Doe in 5th, Dan Evans 6th, Lucy Evans 7th. Beasy back. Oh, gee, our leader Nearly got hung up there on the back marker. Really misjudged that. Brett Island, he is under the hammer now because Ashworth has slid past him. Really just got bottled up. Don't think he read that slower car particularly well at all. Should have been just looking to arc around the outside of it, as it was. Had the tiptoe up the inside, and there's the checkered flags. The win to Ashworth from Ireland. Then it's Kennedy from Aaron Doe, Dan and Lucy Evans, and Travis Beasy. Mark Lincoln in the 19. Leanne Turner back there somewhere as well in the 54 as we get set for the green flag. Valentino Vickers, the doctor, is in the house once again, and he's made a lightning start here in this one. He's already up in a second place. G means business. He's desperately trying to annex a front row start. Turner now looks to the inside. Thought she was about to make contact with Lincoln. I think she might even get that pass done too, with a bit of a nudge to boot, allowing the 24 car of McCarthy also to put a pass on Lincoln. But Vic is already to the front of this one. There's the 11 of Moore. Now battling with Robinson. Robbo back to third, Turner up into fourth from McCarthy. Then it's back to, followed by Jansen. Mark Jansen in the Mozzolino Mining number 88. Then it's the 13 of Lee, followed by the 2 of Qualman and the 45 of Allen. Round comes our leader at sizzling pace, 16.57. 6 laps remaining in this one. Wayne Vickers has absolutely turned back the clock. I'm not sure what he's done, whether they've had the engine in for a change. They found some extra pace in this race car, and tonight he is on an absolute mission.
You're right there, they have found a lot more pace in that 46. The 11 of Moore in that second spot, doing a nice job. Relative newcomer to the field, really showing a fair bit amount of talent aboard that Panther race car. Then the 23 of Jason Robinson, the 54 of Leanne Turner, then the 24 of Darren Plugger McCarthy, trying to run her down. But Valentino out in front, staying up on all 4 wheels. Unlike his namesake Valentino in the last round, couldn't keep it up on 2.
No, uncharacteristic mistake, or did the tyres just let go? A lot on the track and failed to finish.
That they did. You see that Qualman stuck over there in the exit of turn number 2.
Mind you, Mark Marquez didn't have any such issues.
No, he didn't. Lorenzo may have issues next year on the Ducati.
He won't have any horsepower issues.
That is correct. Into turn number 3 for Valentino. Vickers out in front's got no horsepower issues either. Out of turn 4 takes the win. Wayne Vickers wins heat number 2. Jeremy Moore, then the 23 of Jason Robinson. Leanne Turner just over Darren McCarthy. Then the 19. And Jansen in the 88. Rounds out the
Get on the gas here in the Cape Devine Scrap Metal Recyclers Crane Service entry. Caution lights out. We are on a start here. Our starter getting ready to ignite them into action. We're green. Oh, Lowner gets sideways. He's got a big tank slapper going into 1. And someone else has clouded the fence.
Is that McPherson?
Raymond getting ready to go for it here with the 9 of Vermeulen, I think that is, as the green flag waves. Look at Vaughan, the Barossa Bandit, very swiftly up into second. Trying to pick up, is that the Hucker in the 23, possibly up in Smith. Very quickly past the 9 as well of Vermeulen. So it's on out in front. Look at that inside front being hiked there. The Barossa Bandit, he's flying at the moment. Smith now up into 4th. Trying to challenge Hucker as they rocket off the final corner. Luke Raymond in the 5. He is absolutely going to be under the pump here. He needs to hit his marks, corner after corner, lap after lap. If he's to hang on, see the cars handling nicely, bit of a push from Hucker. And Smith continuing to work him over. Smith's car looking nicer. He can break the rear wheels, I'll get it right here in a moment, loose into the corners, whereas Hucker's fighting it. He's copping a bit of a push. Smith's all over him like a rash, and he, with a big move, a powerhouse move going into 1. So it's back straight action now. Our leader, the Barossa Bandit for Fuchs Lubricants and Anguston Motors. He's making it look easy. Just running around on the pole line, a 15.1 on the last lap. Raymond still second, but Smith is sizing him up as we hit the half race distance.
Yeah, Vaughan doing a nice job out in front. You can see once again just hiking that left front tyre in the air with the second between Raymond and big bad Brad Smith as they head down through turn number 3 and 4. The Tasmanian all over the back of the local South Aussie as they head down through 1 and 2 once again past the George Tatnall stand. Brendan Hucker just losing touch a little bit back there in 4th. Then it's Christian Vermeulen and Kieran McCarthy at the back. In fact, Luke Raven's done a nice little job here. He's actually opened up about 1 or 2 car length lead over Brad Smith. Because Smith a lap and a half ago was all over the back of the 5. A beautiful ULX 110. Hooligators number 5 back there in that second spot. The Little's Transport number 6 breathing all over the rear end of that 5 through turn number 4. The Brendan Hucker now with a little bit of resurgence as well is trying to tag onto the back of Brad Smith, but our leader out in front. The Bandit might just steal heat number 3 here with 1 to go. Steve Vaughan down the back. As you see now, Hucker's got by Brad Smith. So Brad Smith's car may have just gone up a little bit here late race. The setup for the tyres have just gone away from that 6. So Vaughan gets the win, Raymond gets second. Brendan Hucker, Brad Smith, and Kristen Vermeulen and Kerry Scary McCarthy at the back in car number 48 rounds out the field for heat number 3. Victorian and the New South Welshman on the front row. It'll be Fiona Verhoeven who leads into turn number 1. Have a look at Crimmins. Around the outside, up to 3rd already. As they charge down the back as he goes around the outside of Mark McCarthy. Hickey got a little sideways in front of him. Had to avoid the contact and run a bit high in turn number 4. Tightly compacted field here in turn. Here is Hickey now in the 91. Then it's Fiona Verhoeven, Mark McCarthy, Matt Crimmins, Stewie Hill, Ben Nicastri really going nowhere at the back in the 99 and the 110 of Tony Howlett at the rear. As we see now the 4 of Stewie Hill trying to work the inside of Crimmins and does so in turn number 3. Our leader is Dean Hickey, and it's Fiona Verhoeven, then Mark McCarthy, Stewie Hill the entertainer here in heat number 4. And it's Matt Crimmins who gets back on the inside of Stewie Hill. Hill and Crimmins putting on a show here in heat number 4. As we see now, Ben Nicastri work the inside of Hill. So Hill got pushed out wide. Really bustled now to the back. Our leader is Dean Hickey in the 91. For a nice little lead over Fiona Verhoeven, Mark McCarthy, Matt Crimmins, the 99 of Ben Nicastri. Then the 4 of Stewie Hill, and at the back, Tony Howlett in the 110. Approaching half race distance, Dean Hickey, the New South Welshman, probably starting to come to grips with the track a little bit more now. Really has a handy lead over Verhoeven in second, really holding up the bus as the 8 back there in second.
Mark McCarthy might get a bit of a run here. It's now or never. He has to try and rip up the inside, but Verhoeven holds him out. He's decided to go for an outside move as Crimmins gets to the inside of McCarthy. McCarthy's been locking down a good pole line as McCastry works the outside here. He might get Verhoeven and McCarthy in the one foul swoop. Look at this, Benny the Kid. He's on fire here as he slices and dices on the high line at Speedway City. Mark McCarthy now back to third place. Verhoeven under all sorts of duress as Crimmins now slips up the inside. And Stewie Hill now right behind her. And out in front, Dean Hickey in the Dean's Tyres, New South Wales 91. He's got the whole length of the back straight on the field, although he just got a bit untidy there and nearly hit the tractor tyre. Coming out of 4. As a matter of fact, McCastry hit that on lap 1 or 2, Phil. I didn't want to be rude and butt in on you, but he did clip it. I was fortunate not to cop any damage. So around comes our leader again with 1 lap now remaining. Geez, cutting it very close to hitting those tractor tyres himself. The time will be interesting. Crimmins continues to work on McCarthy in what has been an almost race-long duel. But Dean Hickey takes the win. Second place to Ben McCastry, very impressive in the 99. Third to the 5 of Mark McCarthy in a much stronger showing, followed by Matt Crimmins. End of throttle stop at Stewie Hill. And I think it might have been the 8 of Fiona Verhoeven. Indeed on a start lap. Already off and racing. The boxing kangaroo flag is waving. I reckon that Super Coupe in the 5 trying to take full advantage of that pole position start. The battle is on for second and third. Mitch Gregg in the 6. The 55. Really challenging in the early stages. Shani now takes command of second. And it's back to the 96 of Tamika. And we look back to the number 9 entry of Tyson Gregg, Turbo Tyson. With Drew Flatman. I think he's been steadily improving the longer the season has progressed. Around they come. The only other campaigner just coming across the start finishing line would be Kiralee Pitcher in the 23, but look at the form and pace of our leader. Super Coupe with 9 remaining. The Sprint Auto Parts on Mount Barker, he's really thrashing them here. He's got a quarter of a lap over his brother Mitch. Shani still there holding down P3. 55, and the battle continues to rage between the 9 of Tyson and the 96 of Tamika as they complete another lap.
Yeah, this time by to be 7 to go. Our race leader, the 5 of Cooper Gregg. He's really started to open up a substantial lead now over the rest of his combatants. Half the race down this time by for our race leader, but the battle really is going to be for second between the 6 of Mitch Gregg and the 55 of Shani Pitcher to make the way out of turn number 4. As you see now, TJ and also Tyson Gregg just putting a lap down on Kiralee in that 23, and then stuntman himself, the 112 of Drew Flatman. He too may, in fact, go a lap down on our race leader by the end of this one. If we go 12 laps non-stop. Mitch Gregg still holding our Shani Pitcher for that second spot. As our leader's about to put the second lap down on Young Kira Lee in her first season of Sing. You'll see the final meeting that Kira Lee's finally got a start at Speedway City, has run the country tracks predominantly. As we see now, Super Coupe with 3 to go this time by. He is more than 1.5 a lap in front of Mitch in the 6. As he puts Drew Flatman a lap down in turn number 4 with 2 to go. So 860 metres to go here in the junior sedan final. The Coupe well and truly in command. More than a half a lap now in front of his brother Mitch. 1 to go. Flag to flag stuff. The Cooper Greg, he won both heat races. I think he's been headed all night. He charges down the back. He's going to win this one. He could afford to do some chocky donuts 360 style in turn 4 and still win it. He crosses the line. Quadruple checkers from Scotty Mack with great enthusiasm. And the Clark, of course, on the infield. Have a look at poor old Shani Pitcher. Giving up with her in the final lap. So second. And now TJ. Tamika in the 96 will get third ahead of the 9 of Tyson Gregg. And poor old Shani, who had a podium spot sewn up, just limped across.
Firstly, in third position, would you please put your hands together for the driver of the 96, Tamika Pitcher. Congratulations, Tamika. That looks like a fun race out there. Quite battle, great pictures, even a young Flatty out there. It's a track fun tonight.
Yeah, it was. Had a good race with Carney and but
anyone you'd like to take?
I think my dad, race with 3, top, was good. Hit all the way for my race. Because he was coming through, waiting for the loading, friendly, and bonus touch.
Very good. Great stuff. You'd like to just take your position up here, and then we'll move on to our second place. Get this young lady drives car number 6. Would you please make some noise for Mitch Gregg? There you go, Mitch. Congratulations on the second. How did you enjoy that one? That's good. Obviously this seems to be your most successful run at Speedway City for the year. Must be pretty pleased to finish off on a good note. Would you like to thank any sponsors or your mum and dad back? All right.
for John Smith, you'd like to use that first spot there on the guys. We'll now bring up our winner. Not only did this guy take it out tonight, I believe he smashed the 12-lap junior sedan track record and the individual, 7 seconds on Scotty Mack tells me, and he's also reset the single 1-lap track record here in this class as well during that race. So would you please put your hands together for Super Cooper Craig in the 5-man team. Congratulations, mate. I'll shake your hand. You've got the checker flag in one fist and the trophy in the other. Man, you were just carving it up out there. Must have felt great.
Yeah, we did the cars fine enough. We geared it up, used the bigger tires on it. We knew we could get around the week, we could use the tires. First around some tires, wrapped them on that.
Yeah, clearly it's made a huge difference. Shane didn't gear up a bit earlier in the year. You would really have something to look on for.
Yeah, well, we don't really race too much, but yeah, when we do, we do beat it. It's just, yeah, that's not easy tonight, so it's new. But yeah, I don't know. I just really like to take all technology, do not have time to have after the new engineering, mum, dad, Mr. Scott, everyone else, thank you.
Nice to stop off. Cheers. Alright, I'll get out of the road here so that our photographers can get a group shot. Congratulations to our place together tonight. Thanks to Ronaldo Class now, Parker. We'll get the feature winner for his place here and our photographers can snap a few shots there. We'll get ready to continue on with the program. It's going to be a 25-lap JD Courier Super Sedan Series shootout here. It's going to be a University medal painted. An intriguing contest.
V8 muscle car racing as well. We are set for the green. Up to you for the launch.
Alexander will lead him into turn number 1 and 2. He leads on the 40 of turn number 1. He'll lead down the back. Alexander, then Michael Miller, then Trevor Ware, then the 87 of Robbie Marchant, the 55 of Graham Stewart at the back, the 22 of Paul Blinkhine. Our leader is Ryan Alexander down the back, 25 laps, a fairly long race for these guys. Alexander, the car looks a little tight at the moment, but that's what you want. You want the car to be tight early to free up later on, but the car's got the fuel, a full fuel cell. Cars, new tyres, of course, as they wear off. You want the car to start to handle a little better. Our leader is Alexander, second is Miller. Third is Trevor Ware, then Robbie Marchant, who really has been a big improver of late. Once he's got that car sorted out, Paul Blinkhine to the infield in that 22. The Penrite machine, the Boccia race car's given up. They'll take no further part here, so just the 5 cars remaining. Still 20 laps up on the counter when Alexander comes by on this occasion in turn number 4. Alexander, Miller, then Ware, then Marchant, Graham Stewart, the 55. And down through turn number 3 and 4 again. The car's pretty spaced out here. Miller wasn't able to go with the 36 early here. As a result, it's going to struggle to really make up any ground. Alexander's opened up close to a half back straight lead. And we're only on 7 laps into this one. It's Alexander followed by Miller, Trevor Ware, the 87 of Marchant, and the 55 of Graham Stewart.
Gee, I think I'd be hoping that this one goes all the way without any... You think Ryan Alexander will be eyeing off a 25 lap track record. He started beautifully. The NZ Enforcer, as you nicknamed him, He's got the Batmobile hiking beautifully. Then it's back to Michael Miller in second. Next up, the 77 of Trevor Ware. Then it's the 87 of Robbie Marchant, followed by Graham Lightning Stewart at the tail of the field. But look at our leader. He's absolutely streaking away from them as he rockets off corner number 4. Here he comes, completes another lap. 14 now remaining. Barney Miller still second. He's now managed to put 4 or 5 car lengths over Robbie Marchant. Now he's got a fairly handy buffer back to his old sparring partner in Graham Stewart. But it's all the enforcer as he comes around lap after lap, continuing to hit his marks. He concludes another one. Hard on the gas through 1 and 2. There's Barney. The Blair Athol Auto Parts Pontiac in the hands of Trevor. Robbie Marchant keeping him honest in the 87. The My Law pilot. And Graham Stewart still back behind them. So we're coming up now to around about 10 laps remaining. The Batmobile of Rhino Alexander across the start-finish line, exactly 10 to go.
Yeah, there certainly is. Down the back, he's got almost a half a lap lead over Michael Miller. These drivers finished first and third in a second and third in the state title last weekend. But there's daylight between them here. Alexander is just smoking them here in this final round number 15 of the JD Courier Super Series. Alexander already has 6 round victories. Did a fair bit of work during the week to get this power plant up and running. Stewart during the final last weekend still managed to finish second to Dave Gartner in that event. Had the motor out during the week, had to put it back in only recently. Seems to be running okay as we speak. As I say, almost a half a lap lead over Michael Miller in the 47 and Trevor Ware in the 77. The 87 of Marchant and the 55 doing a nice job. Graham Stewart still in the lead lap, putting some nice laps together for the 25 lap track record currently held by Ron Alexander's family member. In fact, Dan Miller holds the 25 lap track record set back in 2010 at 6:51.89. So we'll keep a look at the clock as the laps wind down here. Alexander about to put a lap down on the 55 of Graham Stewart, this time by. Got 4 to go, 3.5 as they head down the back straight. The grand final of the Super Sedans at this venue this season, and Alexander is just putting on a clinic over the 47 of Michael Miller.
Third and fourth continues to rage here. If anything, I reckon Robbie Marchant starting to catch Trevor, who's probably tiring just a fraction, or maybe the car just starting to get a bit loose. So that one not done and dusted just yet. But the white flag now on display for the NZ enforcer, Rhino Alexander. Look at Marchant. Will he go for the jugular here on Trevor Ware? He's having a bit of a sniff, gives him a nudge. But it's checkered flag time for Brian Alexander. He notches up yet another JD Courier Super Sedan feature victory. Second place to Barney Miller in the 47. Third place will go to Trevor Ware. A great job in the Blair Athol Auto Parts 77. Followed by the hard-charging Robbie Marchant.
And he has smashed the track record by 11 seconds. He's taken 11 seconds off the track record held.
exciting title, not too far away for this young man. He's an absolute class act. He's rolling down the back, gets to the state of the second. For a 25-lap track record, is an amazing start. The ultimate spirit of fire to keep the record to be broken. The track will be maintaining force. But go on, Andrew. Ladies have the program, one more time from Ryan Alexander. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we've got him out of the battlefield now. How about putting your hands together for Ryan Alexander? After his 6-1 victory, slashed 11 seconds off the 25-lap track record. We might stop Simon Checker Page up here. Mate, congratulations. That was an awesome goal. Fantastic season, and we look forward to seeing you do it again next season, mate. Yeah, we'll take it forward. Thank you. We'll come out and watch it, mate. Right, mate, we'll grab that feature winner boys, take a trail, pop out the road here, and allow our participants to
He might be the 12 of Littorini. Out of position number 3, we're about to go racing Amca Nationals. Into turn number 1 and 2, 10 laps of journey. It's going to be the 36 of Jake Armstrong. He leads down the back. 54 of Leanne Turner in the second spot. Then it's Travis Littorini in the 12. This time being rounded up by the 53 of Raymond Headley. They're 3 wide further back. Deacon in the 6. Littorini out of Wyala in the 12 and the 21 of Mick Sharp. So Sharp really trying to force his way through here after a heat win earlier. Also trying to make his presence felt, the 23 of Jason Robinson. But our leader, 6 of Jake Armstrong. Leanne Turner trying to run him down in that second spot. Then it's the 53 of Treadley Headley in that Cochrane's Transport. Number 53, Mick Sharp now up the inside of Travis Littorini. And he'll make up the spot as Michael Qualman spins the 2 in the middle of turns 3 and 4. Keeps it running. And there'll be no caution. Our leader is Jake Armstrong. And it's Turner. And Headley is really on a charge in that 53. Ahead of Mick Sharp and Travis Littorini.
Was that a bit of a choppy donut that I detected there before from Michael Coleman, Phil?
Was it well, John?
Yeah, proudly brought to you by Balfours. As we watch our race leader Jake Armstrong in the 36. Doing a stout job out in front. This guy, another real talent. It'd be great to see him in the Super Sedan a bit more frequently if possible next season. But look at the battle for the minors here. Turner with Sharp. Headley in the 53. Then it's back to the 6 of Deacon, the 88 of Jansen, and the 12 car of Litterini. But with 2 laps now remaining, Jake Armstrong looking the goods. Leanne Turner showing a bit more pace here tonight than what we've witnessed in recent meetings, and she's been pretty aggressive, been doing a fair bit of biffing and barging out there, but tonight she's kept her nose clean as Coleman smacks the fence. She's not having a good run here, and an evil Hanley car for the victory will go to the 36 of Jake Armstrong. Second place to Leanne Turner. Third place to Mick Sharp, followed in by Headley in the 53, Jansen in the 88, and the 12 of Litterini as Deacon heads onto the infield apron. There's the time, 2 minutes 54.142.
The dash for the South Aussies. Late model title is green. Into turn number 1, it'll be Bednar Castry who leads them. Down the back for the first time. The 10 of Matt Crimmins in the second spot. Then it's the 67 of Steve Vaughan. Have a look at Dean Hickey working the outside, the 91. And you see the 6 of Brad Smith on the inside at the turn number 2. They're wheel to wheel down the back chute. It'll be Brad Smith who gets the spot. In fact, no, it's the 67 of Vaughan, very sideways. Middle of turn number 3 and 4. Our leader is still Bednar Castry in the 99. And it's the 10 of Matt Crimmins. Have a look at Brad Smith in that T6. He's just stormed up the inside of the Barossa Bandit. Pickpocketed at 67, moves up to 3rd. This time by it'll be 2 to go for Bednar Castry.
Gee, they're racing very hard indeed here, Phil. Look at the Castry, the ACN parts. Number 99 with it behind him. Smith, what a masterful drive from the rear up into 3rd. Then it's back to the Barossa Bandit. Steve Vaughan in 4th. He's followed in by Hickey. Then it's back to the 23 of Brendan Hucker. I'll tell you what, half a lap remaining before this man, Benny the Kid, is going to be your pole sitter. But tonight's 35 lap A-main event, Bednar Castry wins the trophy dash. Second spot to Matt Crimmins. Brad Smith in for 3rd. Steve Vaughan in for 4th place. 5th goes out to the 90.
I want to say thanks very much for your terrific support throughout the season. As they're coming out tonight, a fairly chilly evening to support them. We've seen some unbelievable races throughout the season from this category. As they roll down the main chute, that's an opportunity for you to get up on your feet, put your hands together. Wish each and every one of these competitors safety and success for 25 laps. Come on, Speedway Speed, you can do it. Give it a big send off. We have got a real tough local property with a couple of interstaters here tonight. They are set to turn on one heck of a race.
Another driver to keep an eye on.
The time for a start here. 25 up on the board thanks to Ultra Tune and Tyre Power. The final wingless sprint feature for the season is underway. Down the main straight they run. Oh, Spike up against Ashworth into 1. Hurd drops into 3rd place. Look at Spike. He gets a run on him down the back chute. And he takes the lead. Oh, what a move. Ashworth now trying to fight back.
Taylor into the fence. Take 2. Obviously over there having a chat with Spencer Taylor as we go green. And once again, Spalagic from the inside line has got them the run through turn number 1 and 2 there. 3 wide, further back Heinrich, Doe and also Caruso. In fact, Heinrich got the worst of it. Had to drop back a couple of spots. But our leader is Michael Spalagic in the 19. Here's the 2 of Jake Ashworth, the 57 of Robert Hurd. Cars further back led by William Caruso in car number 10. That's Aaron Doe in the 24 in there. Getting a little out of shape. It's Smith in the 57, the Victorian. Then the 82 of Greg Cunningham. As Heinrich battles hard with the 49 of Dan Evans. Our leader is Michael Spalagic in the 19. Ashworth, Hurd. Then the 71 of Brett Ireland. He's here. Looking smooth as glass out there in the 4th spot at the moment. The car looks fast. Got the nice inside run going on the 57 of Robert Hurd. He might cut the pass on the exit of 2. Drag race down the back. The 2 Murray Bridge residents. It'll be Ireland who got the better of it in turn 4. Although Robbie Hurd fights back on the outside. Good racing for 3rd. Our leader is Michael Spalagic, Ashworth, Ireland, and here comes Robbie Hurd back up the inside again, John, in turn number 3.
Well, that's an exciting battle, isn't it? Hurd, as you said, back into position number 3. Ireland, the Flying Glazier, will not give up. Will Caruso having a really good run in 5th position. But out in front, can Spalagic keep his cool here, shooting for feature race win number 2 of the season. Starting to close in. Ireland, the car does not look happy around 1 and 2. He copped a bit of a push, 2 laps in succession, and Caruso now is all over him. And right behind Caruso, I reckon it's Aaron Doe in the 24, so he'll be trying to keep his cool as well. Then it's back to possibly Smith with Cunningham. Look at Doe now to the inside of Caruso. Can't quite get it done. 16 laps remaining in this feature. The battle continues, unable to really move forward. The president going nowhere either. But Spike, he's got a commanding break now, about 8 to 10 car lengths. Now with 15 laps remaining as Rocket Robbie Hurd goes on the attack on the mid-track line, trying to dispense with the 2 of Ashworth.
Yeah, he certainly is trying to work that outside. Oh, one of the machines, a lot of smoke coming out of it. That's the 10 of William Caruso. A lot of smoke very quickly in the cockpit of Caruso as he heads down the back straight away. Reminiscent of Ray Noddy Bishop in the Australian Speed Car title here back in the 80s. Really a lot of smoke coming from that 10. Was he actually hit the tractor tyre in the middle of turn number 1 and 2, probably having some trouble with the vision aboard that race car. But our leader is still the 19 of Michael Spalagic. I'll tell you what, William Caruso is still hard on the gas. Back there in car number 10. He doesn't want to throw away a top 5 position. But Spalagic doing an outstanding job out front in the 19. Then we go back to Ashworth, Hurd, Ireland, Caruso, then Doe. Then the battle between Smith and Evans. The 82 also in there. Also, Joel Heinrich, the 21 of Matty Kennedy. Beasley in the 4. But out in front, it is still Spike. And very shortly, he'll be negotiating some slower traffic.
Well, the first one he's going to negotiate will be Hayden Farrow. Oh, he's gone high. He's trying to look for an outside pass, and Ashworth trying to capitalise here. Spike needs to commit. Ashworth goes past the bird, and it takes the lead. What a manoeuvre. Talk about going for the jugular vein. Ashworth perhaps catching Spike a bit off guard. Spike in 2 minds, wanted to go high, and all of a sudden Ashworth just dive-bombed him. The smoke screen continues. Caruso, that thing's going to have to let go eventually. You can hardly even see in the cockpit, but he continues to drive headfield. But it's Spike now back in 2nd, Ireland 3rd, Hurd in 4th, Caruso 5th. They are your major players. Now with 6 laps remaining, Jake the Snake Ashworth shooting for the 3-peat of victories. Man, has this guy come on strong in the dying stages of the season. Herd now. Your current Australia 3 looks to move to the outside. We're under red. What's happened? Someone outside.
Fire. No, car on fire on the back straight.
That's Cunningham.
A huge fireball down the back straight away.
Seems to have self-extinguished, I think, at least on the left side of the car field.
Yeah, that certainly is out. But that lit up like the proverbial Christmas tree on the back straight away.
The 51, or the 52 I should say, of Belitho. So 6 on the counter. I'll get the first 3. You can bring it home as the green flag waves. What can Spelagic do here? Island looking fairly racy off turn number 2. Looks as though he's got the pace here, but I'm sure Spike, he will cover the low line like there's no tomorrow. Will not want to be faced with the prospect of losing any more spots. Herd now to the inside of Island. They touch, they both spun. Oh, Herd the 360, the Chucky Donut. He sticks it on the gas and keeps going. I think Island may have rejoined the track as well, but he's dead last. Oh, passing off from our leader. Perhaps this is not over yet. Ashworth out in front. Spelagic chasing him with everything he's got. 3 or 4 car lengths between them. 3 laps remaining.
Yeah, for 3 feature race wins on the trot. Poor old Robert Herd and Brett Island will be filthy at the back of this pack, throwing away a potential podium result. With only a handful remaining, but it's Ashworth followed by Spelagic. Aaron Doe looking at probably one of his career best runs here at Speedway City, a 3rd place in a feature event. Out of turn number 4, 1 lap remaining. Jake Ashworth, the tough stuff 4x4 spares Eagle race car. Down through turn number 1 and 2, Spelagic 2nd. Dan Evans consents 3rd as he charges down the back. Through turn number 3 and 4 for the final time. Your last wingless sprint feature winner of the season will be Jake Ashworth. 3 in a row for Jake in that car number 2. Spelagic in the 2nd spot. Then it's going to be Aaron Doe, Dan Evans. Then I think Smith, Beasley.
Post-race activity. But how about it? Speedway City 3 in a row for Jake Ashworth. After a season that he's dominated by Joel Chadwick, Jake Ashworth has come back and said, well, remember me. I can win the clear out this place as well. And he's gone back to back to back. Jake Ashworth in car number 2. Another great victory. Yes, now passing Kimber Russell stand for joint battle standing all in your applause tonight in this cold condition. An exceptional run for Jake Ashworth. Of course, unofficial at the moment, it will have to go across the scales. As he negotiates around the car of Kia Dale on the back straight away. Through turn number 3 and 4, that was an impressive end of the season, John. 3 wins on the trot. After the season, the city dominated by Joel Chadwick.
Oh, the pace begins to quicken. The late model SA time is underway. Crimmins gets the job. He chops across the nose of McCastry. They work turns 3 and 4 for the first time. Oh, we've got a spinner.
It's Hickey.
Oh, he spins out the way. What a terrific piece of driving. Fairly fortuitous. Let's try it again. We'll go 5 and 5 here, Phil. Scotty Mack ignites him into action. McCastry this time makes a much better start. Crimmins continues to walk the outside of him, but he's going to have to concede and drop back underneath him. So it's the 99 leads lap number 1. Crimmins in second spot. And it's back to Smith. Big Bustler and Brad Smith, the Tasmanian aggressor. He's all over Crimmins here. He wants a shot at second and he wants it now. He's growing impatient as they gas it up down the main straight. The Barossa Bandits still back in 4th position. The number 4 entry looking racy, that's Stewie Hill. The Mount Gambier throttle stomper. He's back there in about 6 or 7. Just up ahead of him, the 23 Brendan Hucker.
Oh, Hucker gets it. I should say Hickey gets by Steve Vaughan there in turn number 1 and 2. Vaughan just missed the entry into 1. And Hickey just made the pass there in turn number 1 to get himself inside the top 4. But our leader is the 99 of Ben Nicastri. Crimmins in that second spot. Brad Smith in the 6. Hickey looks extremely racy here in this feature event. The 91 is really hooked up as we see now Hucker. And also Stewie Hill contact in turn number 2 between Hucker and Hill. And Brendan Hucker is left facing the wrong direction out of turn number 2. They banged wheels or banged panels hard in the track record because we don't currently have one. So it would have been a new one. So we go green. Nicastri to lead away. Crimmins in the second spot. Have a look at the gap. The top 3 opened up already with the lapped car of Howler being in there. Really has played into their hands superbly. Is Nicastri, followed by Crimmins, Brad Smith, then that machine of Dean Hickey very quickly got him to the back of our top 3. These thundering late, quite a spectacle around our 430 metre bull ring here at Speedway City. But our leader is Ben Nicastri. He came here with big raps on him and he's delivering in spades here tonight. Good little race further back too for Vermeulen, Verhoeven. Brendan Hucker trying to force his way back through the field in car 23. And the 48 of Big Kerry McCarthy. Bit of smoke now coming from the back of the 10 of Crimmins. Although Nicastri looked like he slowed up a bit there in turn number 4. And Crimo now is right there, John, 3, 1 and 2.
What about the move from Hickey? Dean Hickey in the 91 just got up the inside of Brad Smith.
He looks fast.
In the 3-4 turn, you picked it early on, Phil. And he's on a real tear. But you're right, Nicastri struggling for turn 4. You see that at 2 there. I think Crimmins is starting to think that maybe some sort of a chance here. He closes in for the kill. Mumbo Matt, he's winding it up here in car number 10. Dean Hickey in the 91, devastatingly quick in that blue entry. And it's back to Smith in 4th. Here goes Crimmins. Matt Crimmins makes the pass. Can he make it stick? Door handle, he's got him. He clears him out of turn number 2. Traffic ahead. Nicastri trying to work the mid-track. Crimo on the middle. And he hugs the bottom here going into 1. Great start for South Australian. Leads this one, but Nicastri will not go away. They're side by side again. 15 laps remaining. This is a fantastic struggle.
Oh, it's a street fight out there, John. It's getting personal between Crimmins and Nicastri. Look at the lap cars in front of them. The slower cars, there's 3 of them. As they come out of turn 4, Crimmins will be the first to get through. Oh, he slices through them superbly on the front straight. It opened up beautifully for him. Nicastri's now boxed in as they charge down the back. It's Crimmins in front, Nicastri. Then we go back to Hickey, who's well and truly boxed in back there in 3rd.
Brad Smith in car number 6. They can't get by those lap cars. The top two are driving away. Crimmon's almost in the fence there on the exit of turn number 2. He's driving that car at 110% if it's possible. He can sense a South Aussie victory. Here comes Nicastri now trying to work the higher groove. Through turn number 1 and 2, Hickey's now got through the lap cars. Our leaders, 1, 2 and 3, have got some clear space now before they get to Mark McCarthy in the 5M. As they go through 1 and 2 once again, past the Kim and Itham stand. I think Hickey needs a caution. That smoke continues from Crimo's number 10. This time by to be 10 laps remaining. He's taken on one of the best in the country. And at the moment he's coming out on top with 10 to go.
Brad Smith just getting hung up behind McCarthy's 48. Further back is the Barossa Bandit just struggling with the traffic. Then Stewie Hill. Then it's back to Luke Raymond and Mark McCarthy. But we've now got 9 laps remaining here. And Matt Crimmins, the big fella, appears to have the hot setup here. He's leading by about 6, maybe 8 car lengths. Not really gaining on McCarthy all that rapidly. But Dean Hickey is starting to catch Nicastri, although he has a bit of a moment there in 1 and 2. So Smith still 4th. Then it's back to the bench. Then it's Stewie Hill, I think, in 6, followed by the 5 of Raymond. But let's watch our leader as he works the back straight. 6.5 laps remaining here. Crimmins cannot afford to get held up by McCarthy. The lap flag's out. Oh, Crimo gets balked here on the bottom. Mark just holding his line. Oh, he's tapped him. He's nearly had a half lose. Oh, look out. Here goes Nicastri. He's past him. We've got a new race leader. Devastation for Crimmins. Hickey now all over him. Winning. How many more twists and turns are we going to get in this SA title?
We'll soon see. We've still got 4.5 remaining. Ben Nicastri now looks like he's got a big enough advantage to hang on. Here comes Dean Hickey now in the New South Wales 91. Crimo, you can just sense it going away now. Nicastri sideways in turn number 2. Washed off a lot of momentum. The cars are just starting to go away. Perhaps the tyres as well. The track really is changing. Here comes Matt Crimmins. That smoke continuing to come out of the back of that 10. Nicastri, Crimmins, Hickey. Still anyone's race as they head down the back. This time to be 2 to go. But Ben Nicastri, Crimmins is still right there, and so too is Dean Hickey. He's come from the clouds here. Late race, he threw it in hard into 1 and 2. Oh, Nicastri bounces through turn 2. Crimmins it into turn number 3 and 4. What a classic contest. In turn number 4, 1 to go. Here comes Hickey now to the inside of Crimmins. Hickey now to second. Wow. Place is changing dramatically here down the back straight away. Ben Nicastri, turn number 3 and 4, the new South Aussie late model champion. It's Ben Nicastri. Second to Dean Hickey, third to Matt Crimmins. Fourth across the line will be Brad Smith. Fifth will be the 67 of Steve Bourne, followed by Stewart. Then the lap cars, probably Raymond in the 5. The lap cars of Vermeulen and Verhoeven. Speedway City, what a contest that was. The late models have turned it on superbly.
In the 99 congratulations. Well done.
Yeah, thanks a lot. We've definitely got the car in a good spot. That's put an enormous into the car. I can't thank him enough for that. And it's also my time. We stuffed up all that for them. As the order, my response to the engine is a roll. It's gone really well. Had a bit of a misfire during the race there, but that was nothing to do with that.
I was, look as though Spike was in command, and he just got a little flow, a little intensity with that slower car up ahead, and you just pounced.
Yeah, well, early on in the race, as I said, we started to lose a bit of power, and I was a bit worried that I was going to have to pull infield, but then seeing Steve Jack in the lights and slowly pull him up, and it all just happened at the right time, and that car was there, and I had to go to the race for it.
Good stuff. It was a great feature to watch, and really finished off the season in great fashion.
Yeah, thanks very much. Great. So I'm looking forward to next season. So I hope to see you
all around here then. Well done. We'll just get the board up. You want to get a quick photo for our sponsors? Just quickly see if you want to do a quick snap. I'll get out the road before we move on to our train services sponsored presentation for the thundering late models. What a main event it was. 30 laps of absolute door handles of door air, wheel-to-wheel fury. You cover a very, very long way, I think, to witness a better motor race than that. John and Jake, congratulations on the free-bet. Terrific stuff indeed. Alright, we'd really like to thank our sponsors, the late model South Australian Championship here tonight, Crane Services. Please keep them in mind for any crane requirements you may have moving forward. And I'll tell you what, we'd like to welcome up our third place getter. He did it well in car number 10. It's certainly a good shot for the win. Would you please make some noise for Mumbo, Mate Crimmins? Like the good gentleman from Crane Services here to the trophy. How'd you do that one, mate? Like always. Do I do represent that trophy there to win the third? Congratulations, mate. I know you're probably a little disappointed, but that was one heck of a race. It was an absorbing three-way battle. We thought you might have had it, and then you come up on the back marker, and Ben just got a bit of a run on you, and then Dean just snuck in there when you were still thinking about the win.
Yeah, look, you can't be disappointed when you just had a race like that. Best guys, you can race side by side, and we had touch on the car all night, so track crew did an awesome job, doing a team, thank you. They did a really good level of track, so got to thank Pivo, Craig, Lisa, people that come down to watch, all my sponsors, and people that come out to watch us.
Good on you, mate. That was a sensational battle, and I reckon
and me from the day we were with the car and before we went in, so very lucky to come down.
Yeah, it was just a sensational guy, so congratulations. That's a really good run from you.
Yeah, look, like I said, it was an awesome race. Unfortunately, we missed out by a bit, but just showed we had a rough year, but we can run with these guys. That's run from us on, so yeah, we're brilliant.
Maybe next year, eh?
Give it a go again.
Good, mate. You just stay up there with us for the group shot shortly. We'll move up now to our second place getter. Would you please put your hands together for Dean Hickory? Congratulations, gentlemen. That's a nice race for you. Really nice. You looked fast. You had some interesting moments early on in the race, but your car just looked fast. It looked like you had the hot setup. Another 5 or 10 laps, and who knows?
Yeah, mate. We always work really hard. We had early. We were sort of hot and cold. Coming out later, feels up. Taking a little bit quicker. Just 2 little tweaks after that. And after the shootout there, thought we had something for him here in between. Just mate, awesome racing against all these guys. Like Matty said, there was not a scratch all night. Side by side, give one another plenty of room. And yeah, mate, it's a good race. The track was awesome.
Yeah, certainly did. I mean, it's clearly one of the best late model events we've ever had here at the venue.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, no, it was good to make this trip down here. We were hoping for this sort of racing. Matty had made his way up to Parramatta a few times to help us out where we needed numbers and that. So it was good to get down here and have a bit of a go, yeah. This one's for Laura.
Well done, mate. Anyone else you'd like to thank?
Just the same. Wife, she's not here tonight, but yes, awesome. And
Mum. Big one for Mum. Johnny, mate, well done. You like to take your spot there alongside Matt. All right, time now to bring up the winner driver of the 99 car. Would you please give it up for Ben McCastry? Congratulations, Ben. That's the South Australian Championship Cup. And what a race. Just one of the most epic battles, I think, that we've ever witnessed. So many twists and turns. The obviously driven like a Jesse cat to come out on top.
Yeah, what can I say? I don't think we had the biggest car out there. Matt and Dean were both coming on real strong there again, and I think we might have missed out a little, but I guess track had played in their hands a little bit, and it was awesome, mate. I was having so much fun out there, really before we were going to win it. I was just having fun running around that, and yeah, it's good fun when you get fun like racing it. The track, obviously, Speedway City was awesome tonight, so it was a great race.
Yeah, look like your car and yourself looked comfortable out there on the high line, and ultimately, when Matt probably just hung up a little bit with the back mark, and you're able to just drive around the outside.
Yeah, I mean, earlier on I got a chance to try it out, and it wasn't quite as big as the bottom, but I could see him coming off my hard car, and I knew I had a good shot at him, and I got up there and had a real good go, and it obviously paid off, and then I just kind of jumped on it, set the bottle, so I could get under it, and yeah, I guess it paid off.
Yeah, it was a terrific dogfight, and Matt was thinking about another run, and before he knew it, he just sliced underneath the end, and that was paid to that.
Yeah, these guys are all good racers, and they'll take any opportunity they get. Yeah, so congrats to both them guys.
Sure, we've got a few people you'd like to thank?
Yeah, of course. Got to thank Dad, and that driver truck here the whole way. Bruce Mendy coming down helping us out. And ACM Park, the whole way work. Without them guys,
one of the most recent blowing news was that the track system, they'll be spinning out, they'll be crashing into each other. This is the only track for
Well said, mate. Congratulations on adding the SA title to New South Wales title.
Yeah, thank you.
Alright, good stuff. I'll get out of the road. Let's
And Bob Jane Timmons, Modbury. 2-night challenge as we go green. Into turn number 1 and 2, it's Wayne Vickers in the 46. He will lead down the back. Jake Armstrong in that 36 in the second spot. Trying to work the inside is that Darren Plugger McCarthy in that 24. No, it's the 11 of Moore. He was on the inside of McCarthy in that 24. And McCarthy now led to the 21 of Mick Sharp. He may in fact get the pass done. He does in turn number 4. So our leader is Wayne Vickers in the 46 as we lose, I think, the V45 of Darren Howard to the infield. The Mildura race of the car just hasn't performed as it should tonight. But we're going to have a good race up front here between Vickers and Armstrong. The Amkin Nationals. Strong numbers here tonight. Racing. But out in front, it's Wayne Vickers. Inspired by John Cobby's words earlier, saying he just wasn't up to scratch a couple of meetings ago. We'll see how he goes through turn number 3 and 4. Continues to pace this field with 20 laps still to go, so the Amkers also getting a nice 25 lapper to end the season. But it's Vickers, Armstrong, then Plugger McCarthy, then Moore, then a nice little gaggle of cars led by Leanne Turner in that 54.
Well, through comes our leader to complete another lap. Wayne Valentino Vickers, the doctor, is at the wheel in this one. He's got Jake Armstrong in the 36 chasing him down as he comes off turn number 4. And the West Torrens Dyno Centre sponsored entry. Then it's back to the 24 of Darren McCarthy holding down 3rd place. Next is the 11 of Jeremy Moore in 4th. Turner in 5th, Headley in 5th, in 6th. Then it's back to Steve Letts. Yes, Gunny did inform me during the interval that it is indeed Letsy back in his own race car. Behind him is Mick Sharp, and he's been followed by Mark Jansen in the 88, Darryl Lee in the 13, followed by the 12 of Travis Liverini. And here they go. Vickers now coming up on the back markers. Armstrong pounces on the bottom. And we've seen it happen again, Phil. The back markers getting hung up, forced out wide, and the driver sitting in second. Oh, Vickers gets a shunt in the catbird seat. They can see it all unfolding, and they can just dive bomb down to the bottom of turn 3 and make that pass. So it's Armstrong now with a nice buffer over Vickers, and then a tremendous stoush continues between the 11 of Moore and the 24 of McCarthy. So Armstrong continues to show us. Vickers still there in second. There's the 11 of Moore. Continuing to chase the 24 of Darren McCarthy. Beyond that, we've got Turner in the 54. Raymond Headley in the 53. Then Letts in the 19. Back behind them, we've got the 21 of Michael Sharp, still Jansen. And Jansen about to be lapped by Armstrong in the 36. This young kid, very much in the mould of Ryan Alexander, is a huge talent. He's only got 10 laps now remaining. As he comes through to complete another lap, Vickers is pedalling hard, but unfortunately, the little bit of indecision in lap traffic has really cost him in this. The lap flag continuing to go out to the back markers. So now we've got the 11 of Moore. The Panther up into third place, McCarthy back to fourth. Back behind them we've got Turner in the 54, followed by Letts in the SA1, the 53 of Headley. And they are to remain on the lead lap as our leader comes through now. Oh, a heap of smoke from the back of Jansen's 88. He's about to expire. He's been told to get off the track.
Yeah, Scotty Mackabee getting excited. We've only got 7 to go. Can we set a new 25-lap track record on the AMCA Nationals? He'll want to get Mark Jansen off the track before that caution light came out. He does so in turn number 2. Now leader down the back straight, Jake Armstrong. 36 looking for back-to-back AMCA National feature wins. Now to turn number 4. That Bob Jane T. Martz. NZ number 36. He's looking at the back now of Treadley Headley in that 53. Red light is on. Lost a wheel. Lost a wheel from Wayne Vickers in the 46. And the wheel is just continuing to make its way down through turn number 3 and 4, running the high groove. Right up there on the above the cushion. It's about to speaking of away, Geelong are getting away from Port Adelaide big time at the moment. Another sorry night for the Port Power. So down the back, 36 of Jake Armstrong. This time by to be 5 to go. The 11 of Moore in the second spot, then McCarthy. Then the 54 of Leanne Turner. The 19 of Letzi. Then the 53 of Raymond Headley. Headley now looking to the outside through turn number 4. Trying to get by the 19. Won't get it done. Now lead it well and truly in command now. He's opened up a very big couple of laps over the very impressive rookie in car number 11, Jeremy Moore. Leanne Turner continues to race hard with Headley. John May put the knockers on her. Talking about how clean a night she's had this evening. And only got a handful of laps remaining. Leanne Turner now looking to the outside. The 24 of McCarthy, but they're not going to stop the 36 of Jake Armstrong here tonight.
I think she just went a bit too high there, Turner, a moment ago. Phil with the white flag out, and Headley just moves over and blocks the position. Now she's going to have a crack on the bottom. Let's see if she can get it done here. No, can't quite execute it, but here's the checkered flags. Jake Armstrong, he's won another feature race. The 11 of Jeremy Moore for second. Darren McCarthy gets in for third. From Raymond Headley in for fourth. Turner fifth. Let's sixth. A good return to the seat, followed by
0.50. Here we go. She's got the checkered flag. Jake Armstrong in the 36. Please put your hands together for him, folks. To acknowledge this young man and just how talented and skillful he is. He really showed him how it's done here tonight. And he gives that a new 6-lap track record, Scotty. Alright, so it shows about 5 seconds off the former 6-lap track record. They're dropping like flies here tonight. Just shows you exactly how quick this young man is. We really are extremely lucky here in South Australia. So many different young, very quick race car drivers coming through the race and the system. Very enjoyable to watch. Come on, last race, give it up for everyone online, Jake Armstrong in the 36. That was Brett, was it Brett Chadwick? That track record holder, please give it up for Jake Armstrong. Come on up here, mate. You made a few words. You can knock this over before the street stock starts. How'd you enjoy that?
Yeah, it was really good out there. I was pretty happy he started behind Wayne. He's a very good driver. I enjoyed following him, but it comes to a bit of lap traffic and it sort of went my way. Can't complain with that, but yeah, no, track's really good. A bit bumpy, but yeah, it's fun. It's funny fast out there.
Yeah, it was a great move. Now again, Wayne just bottled up a little bit, just bounced on the inside of turn number 3, and that was it. He drove away from him.
Yeah, I had to do something. There's no way else I'm going to get past him, but yeah, no, it's really good. I'd like to thank all my sponsors. I thank Peter, Michael, Geezer, all the guys that go down to Shedburn House and put into this car. It's unbelievable. Yeah, thanks a lot. We'll talk to them. If it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be here.
Congratulations. Nice for George Stathmos there. He worked hard for this one. Nearly spun on his own oil a couple of times, but managed to bring it home. Kept away from Buddy. Where's this history, as they say, as he strolls down the back straight. It goes nice and slow, just trying to save at the moment. He's come around to scratch the checkered flag. Certainly brings the curtain down. Philip has been a very successful season over 15 race meetings. One of your highlights, that is for sure, was the good on the team. The entire team here in Speedway City to Wendy Turner, Rob Kinkoff, to Robbie and Scotty and the guy getting out. Where's up here? We might as well go up here and do this presentation. Come on folks, put your hands together for the pit bull, Paul Hayes, taking the last checkered flag of the 2015-2016 season. Congratulations mate, I think they may just have the wrong date on the plaque there. Well, that's alright, you'll kill that off. A win's a win, had a few issues there now, the steering rack it looked like, but you got through.
Yeah mate, we did that the first race and looks like we've done it again, so we did sore at top of the race in that one, but it's all good. And then we'll fix it up and we'll head off to Murray Beach tomorrow night and give it another crack. There we go there.
Good one, mate. Who would you like to thank while you're up here?
I'd like to thank my brother, and that he's the one who helped me change the steering rack in between races then. Steve, my mechanic, Waterloo Records, obviously giving me steering rack. I've done about 6 this year already, so I've got a Martin Coffee Brothers, as you well said. We've done a few to 11 this year. Contract Solomon, so look after us pretty well. Yeah, and anyone else on the job, so it's all good. And we'll look at that until the next year.
Well done, mate. Congratulations on a pretty good season.
Mate, we've won 5 features here, so it's been pretty good. And building a brand new car and everything, and it's been a big job in the off-season, so it's more or less paid dividends, mate. It's been good.
Top stuff. Well, I'll hop out of the way here. You've got the feature race board there. You grab that. I'll vacate. And I'll probably take a couple of shots. Congratulations and good luck tomorrow night as well. So I reckon that just about wraps it up. I think you're already